to another good showcase.
The main
Summer
event.
Games Fest.
Yeah, boy.
The main event. That was Friday night with our boy Jeff Keighley, co-hosted by Lucy James. An interesting showcase. Some things I thought were missing. A lot of games that I'm looking to check out. A good variety of games, I think. A lot of tweets I've seen have said, if you're a Souls-like enjoyer, you had a great weekend. And I think that's fair enough. There is a lot of Souls-looking games.
Souls-likes are
Elden
on the
Ring
rise
effect.
big time. Yeah, I feel like with Elden Ring, they realised that you can make a Souls-like as long as you give players the ability to run off and do something else if they're getting their ass beat. Because the old Souls games were so linear, it was like, no, you have to headbutt this wall till you get past it. And a lot of players are just like, no, fuck that. Whereas now they've gone, right, if you're headbutting that wall and you're not ready to bleed for it, run away, do something else, come back when you're stronger. And I think that's made a lot of developers go, that's how we get them, because everyone wants these games, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's the trend. It's what we always see happens. A certain game in a certain genre pops off, and then a year or two later, suddenly 4 new games in that genre pop up because they're all chasing the trend. But yeah.
So again, I will preface these games are in no particular order. They're just ones that I've picked out that I think we'll either play or of significance subjectively, obviously. But we had Chronicles of Medieval, one that I won't play, but I thought I'd mention because it was interesting. They had Tom Hardy voiced the trailer.
What an actor.
The game itself, again, the game on paper looks good. It's just not my type of game. I won't be playing it. But yeah, I thought it was
I know a
interesting.
lot of people are very excited for that, and it does look good. I'm the same as you, like JL. Medieval style games tend not to be my kind of thing. I know Luke was like, yeah, that's a bit of me.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm always excited when other gamers have a game they're excited for.
Yeah, it like sits on the edge of maybe a game I would play.
Yeah,
it's one of them ones that if it comes out and it's got really good reviews, Horry will cave, give it a chance, and then we won't see him for 3 weeks.
It's one of those where it's like, if it leans more Total War-esque, where you're just like controlling an army, I'm a bit like, eh. If it's more like RTS Civ leaning,
a bit strategy sided,
yeah, I'll be like, oh, I might give that
a go. We had Ill, cool name for a game that looks terrifying. No release date, but it just looked very strange, and I believe it was the one where at the end of the trailer he sort of like punches a baby in the head.
Oh, he
like kicks the baby across the room. Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Oh, I'm sold."
Yeah.
See, as a horror game enjoyer, but not a horror game player, I'm very excited because there's a lot of really good horror games coming out, and I just need all of my favorite content creators to play all of them, so I have hundreds of hours of YouTube content to watch. Or I'm gonna need to just get over my thing with horror games and finally start enjoying what I genuinely think, ironically, despite spending maybe 3 hours of my life playing horror games, I think they're my favourite genre of games.
As a avid horror game enjoyer, like nothing beats the thrill of like playing a game. And when I play them, I make sure I have lights off, like try and be as immersed as possible. But I'm always down for a first-person horror. I always think in first person, the jump scares just hit better than third person. Like Silent Hill, don't get me wrong, fantastic game. Games like Resident Evil, Biohazard, they just straight up make you jump more, in my opinion. It's very much opinionated, but yeah, I thought that looked very good. Lego Voyagers, another cool one. Sort of a co-op adventure game from what I could see. You start as a 1x1 block. You have to help each other traverse the world, and it's got a cool feature similarly to It Takes Two and Split Fiction. Only one of you needs to own the game. The other one can be
invited that this is becoming a thing
from a friend pass. Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic feature in my opinion.
Lego Voyagers isn't being made by the same people who made Split Fiction and that, is it? Because before this, they were the only people I know of that did friend pass.
Yeah, Hazelight are the only people. It Takes Two and Split Fiction are the only games that I recall doing it.
A Way Out had friend pass, no?
that's Hazelight by the same people.
Yeah, no, I was just checking that started
okay,
with
yeah.
A Way Out. So the fact that this is starting to bleed over into other companies who are making co-op games is such a W change in the industry caused by Hazelight, and Hazelight will always get a lot of love from me for causing that kind of shift, and long may it continue.
Absolutely. One that we'll probably end up checking out. I can't remember where they said it was releasing, whether it was going to be on Game Pass, or I feel like maybe
The
Xbox
first one
would
was
have
on
tried
Game
to get it
Pass.
there. Either way, one I'll definitely be checking out. And then one that I do want to discuss. I haven't played the first one because I remember when it first came out, there was lots of trailers for it. I don't think it reviewed the best, but this one, Atomic Heart 2, personally looks unbelievable. I thought it was probably one of the best games that we saw over the whole weekend. I know that's a bold claim.
It really sold itself well.
The trailer was
absolutely
fantastic.
put its best foot forward.
It did. I haven't played the first one, but I know how wacky the first one is.
I downloaded the first one, and then as I do phenomenally well, got distracted and never played it.
Classic.
I was sat there watching. I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting. This looks like a bit of me." And then I saw like the gold robot lady. I was like, "Hey, that's like the one from Atomic Heart." But this looks nothing like Atomic Heart. And then Atomic Heart 2, I was like, "Oh no, shit! This is Atomic Heart." Very, very funny.
Wackier.
Yeah, I think they've just realised what worked from the first game, maybe, and lent more on that. Or maybe you need to have played the first game to understand why this makes sense, looking the way it looks now.
I think it's one of those things as well. You give people a taste of this world that you kind of want to build in the first one. People are like, okay, I kind of vibe with this. I'm in, and then you can go, oh, now we can go wacky because you're locked into this.
I need to go play Atomic Heart. I need to go play so many games. There are so many sequels that I'm like, I really want to play that. So I now have a million original games that I need to play to get ready for the sequels to come out.
I reckon we'll be in the same boat as a lot of people who saw the reviews. I'm looking at Atomic Heart 1 now, and it's a 70 on Metacritic, which is how I remembered.
Yeah.
And that's why it is on my backlog. I've got my spreadsheet up here, and it is on my backlog to come around to because it is on Game Pass, to my best knowledge.
It definitely was.
I feel like we're going to be in the same boat as a lot of people who saw that trailer for the new one and are going to go back and play the first one.
For anyone who cares, the first one is currently £18 on Steam. It's on sale from £55. So if you are like me and Josh and we're like, oh, we need to play that, and you don't have Game Pass, or you just want it on Steam, there you go. It's 20 quid right now. And on Steam, it has very positive reviews.
It is no longer on Game Pass. From
Sag.
Unless I'm reading that wrong. It was removed 9 months ago.
So it was there for the first 3 months, I think it's been out for about a year.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, either way, one that all three of us, I can imagine checking out if the reviews are good. And then just when we thought they were done, they announced the Cube, which again looks very interesting. Set in the same universe as Atomic Heart. They didn't really go into a lot of detail as to what it was sort of actually going to be. It looks like very much RPG shooter. It was hard to tell if it was going to be a BR or just what it was. But either way, it looked really cool. The terrain, for anyone who hasn't seen the announcement, it's like a massive cube where every surface level has a different biome essentially, and it's constantly turning like a Rubik's Cube type thing. And overall, it just looks really good. Obviously, like I say, we don't really know what it is yet.
No.
Very excited to hear more about it, which isn't something I ever thought I'd say about the Atomic Heart universe. But yeah, I think it looks fantastic. No dates or anything yet, unfortunately. But one that we'll be excited to keep an eye out for. We got another Death Stranding trailer, and I watched this in absolute confusion. I, like a lot of people, didn't have a Scooby what was going on. I don't know if you need to have played the first one to understand it. I was in a call with my friend at the time when I was watching a showcase. He has played the first one and didn't even know it was Death Stranding. So who knows
Yeah, but
really?
that's just
it-
Death
would it-
Stranding.
Would it even be a Hido game though if you actually understood what the fuck was going on from the trailer? Do
I
you
mean,
not
that
need
is-
to be a
that
little
is a
bit lost
Kojima
before,
thing, yeah.
before you start the game? Is that not like a prerequisite?
I mean, I feel like it has to be because I was absolutely baffled. But the game comes out within the next 2 weeks as we're recording, so I'm sure it's going to do well, and I'm assuming that was going to be the last trailer we saw for it. And then what else did we have? Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which you mentioned earlier. Another game that I probably won't play. It was like a bit of a beat 'em up type thing.
Yeah, beat 'em ups on the rise. You had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, which was also made
Shredder's
by this
Revenge
company.
reviewed very well.
Yeah. Now they're making this one, and then I know later on they announced another new one from the same company. And yeah, this kind of 8-bit style, I know it's not actual 8-bit,
Retro.
but the 8-bit style, retro style, side-scrolling and beat 'em ups are back. Like, where's my Jackie Chan remake? You know the one, the fucking Game Boy one, where you have to go through all the missions as Jackie Chan and get his old totem back from his old Nickelodeon show. Give me a remake of that game. That's what I want.
Nostalgia sells. That's why these have been
I mean,
made.
And they showed, because to my knowledge, there's a lot of characters, but a lot of them hadn't been announced yet. And from the
I
trailer
think
we
they
saw,
released 2 new ones.
was it She-Hulk and Rocket?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I
the
believe were
two,
the two
that no one knew about that had been revealed
that
in
we
this
saw.
trailer.
So pretty cool. I know people who enjoy these games popped for that. So always happy for them. People enjoying different genres. One that I very much like the look of, and that a couple of us discussed briefly in the Discord, was Killer In. And I think it was you, Hori, that described it the best. It looks like Cluedo.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's got a different name in America as it has in the UK.
No,
But it's essentially
It
like
does. It's just called Clue in America
Oh.
because
Okay.
how dare you have extra letters to give it a bit of a vibe, you know?
So it's sort of like the murder
it's an
mystery.
Among Us game. It's an Among Us game. But, yeah, cool. Maybe we'll give it a go. How
It's-
expensive is it going to be?
It's like, I think I said in the Discord, it's Clue but with guns. And then I was like, it was Mrs. White with the uwu skinned MP5 in the billiard room. I mean,
I
If
thought
it's
it looked
like
really cool.
relatively cheap, I'm down for us all to buy it and play it. And then we could just throw in lobbies and make people lose their mind. It'll be great.
That's the thing.
care.
It's a 24-player online
Yeah.
game. I don't have 24 friends, or 23, should I say, myself. And I don't know how well it would work if we played it just like as a group of 6 or 7 of us or whatever. I don't know whether we'd have to take us lot into a bigger lobby to get the full experience.
Yeah. I get
Murder
that.
Rampage.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure how it works. I thought it looks really cool.
There's definitely something there.
I don't believe it got a date, so it's one we're
It
gonna have to keep
didn't.
our eyes peeled on. And then the game that actually opened the show, Mortal Shell 2. Now, I've not played the first one. It was one of them situations where they announced a sequel to a game that I didn't know existed in the first place, and this was one of them, Mortal Shell 2. Very up my street, good-looking Souls. Like, I am there for any of that type of game, to be honest. So one that I definitely want to check out when it comes to it.
The trailer was very well put together with the music choice. I seem to remember the first one coming out, and it was obviously before Elden Ring, so it was when Souls-likes were still not the most popular, and I think probably was more like the older Souls-like, very linear, very slam your head against the wall, which is probably why it didn't take off massively.
The big thing that trailer gave me is if you enjoy Souls games, it's very Souls-like, but it also has like them like big finishes and beating the shit out of someone that gives a bit of a Doom vibe. So like there is definitely a lot of people who are like, yeah, let me fight this fucking boss for 6 hours, and then when I eventually beat it, give me a really cool fucking animation of me crushing its skull. And I see why a game like this would be popular. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm looking now. The first one came out 18th of August 2020, which was obviously before New Gen. So I can imagine the people who enjoyed this game are very much looking forward to a newer one. on more enhanced consoles.
Yeah.
Just 5 years later, it's just going to be better overall. And one I think
Mhm.
looks fantastic myself. Another cool one, a co-op brawler. Again, it's an IP that I love in Scott Pilgrim, but a game that I probably won't play just because of it. And it's being made by the original creator, Brian Lee O'Malley. I thought the trailer was really cool.
Yeah, it's the same company that made Cosmic Invasion and Shredder's Revenge. It's that style of game, which they must be the best in the world at this point. And yeah, it's more co-op-y. They've added a story to it. The original writers come back to do the story for it. This game could genuinely do very, very well.
It's one of them ones where the IP, I love Scott Pilgrim, and the IP could be enough to maybe dabble and see if I like it.
See, I could see this being the kind of thing where this tricks you into giving it a go. You fucking love it, and then you go back and play like Shredder's Revenge and Cosmic Invasion because you're like, okay, let's see what else you've got.
How long before this game studio makes us a Wu-Tang one?
I don't feel like I feel like we're only allowed to get a Wu-Tang game every 15, 20 years. So maybe
when we're 50.
yeah, we'll be dabbling in a new one. Hitman. You'll probably enjoyed this. Mads Mikkelsen came out on stage. We have a Casino Royale level in Hitman, which I like Casino Royale, don't like Hitman, so I won't be playing it, won't be checking it out. Checking it out.
If I can pull myself away from Minecraft, I will play it because I've been enjoying Hitman again at the minute. I'm a bit of a Hitman era again. If I can pull myself away from Minecraft and my crops, I will give this a go. But I know it's only live for like a week, and I don't know if I'm going to get there in time. But fucking awesome way to kind of build hype around a new game with the 007 First Light and kind of go, right, remember that like great Bond film? How would you like to feel a little bit like James Bond to get ready for a full James Bond game? And I thought it was brilliant. And seeing Mads come out, kind of sell us on it, and him talk about like his performance, like it was like a full in-depth story and not Hitman, I fucking loved. It was great, really, really cool. And according to some people who've now played it, because obviously it went live literally an hour after the showcase finished, apparently it's very, very good.
And to my knowledge, I believe they mentioned that if you play this Casino Royale level, you get some sort of skin or unlock for First Light.
Yes, that is true. I think there's like 3 rewards you get. I think it's a skin, a gun, and something else.
So any IO fans, feel free to check that out if it's still up. I know you said it had a short duration.
I think it's up till this Friday, so yesterday as this episode's come out. Because I think it was a week from when it went live.
In which case, unlucky. If you were interested in it, you would have got it by now. One for Hori to discuss. Ark Raiders. We got a release date. Was you excited to get a release date for October 30th?
Yes and no. More so no.
You believe
because...
the internet.
So, to be fair, it wasn't just like I believed the internet. It was very much the devs accidentally led everyone to believe. And to be fair to the devs, because there was everyone very much almost 100% presumed we were getting this shadow dropped.
Yeah, for context, you thought it was going to be shadow dropped at Summer Games Fest.
And so did everyone that had played the playtest.
And yeah, I think the problem really was the playtest was so well polished that everyone was fully like, this game is ready to fucking ship.
Exactly.
If there would have been more bugs in the playtest, people would have been like, it's not quite ready, it won't be a shadow drop, they're not there yet. But I think the playtest went so smoothly, everyone was like, this game's ready to ship. It's coming out now.
So it's like, Ark Raiders comes on, and they have trailer. And then they worded it as like, and a release date, and I was like, is that just to like mislead us still? Trailer goes and it ends with October 30th. Immediately I'm like, what? No, I wanted shadow drop. Obviously I'm like very excited, we have a date. The funny thing to me, looking on it further, is that is just under a month after Marathon's meant to have come out. They are fully bargaining on like, we'll just let Marathon burn for a month. People will get bored of it. Then we're just going to sweep up the entire extraction shooter market. Obviously, a lot of people were very upset because they felt like they'd been misled, which I think is a fair response. The devs on the Arc Raiders Discord, I think the same day, pretty much came out with an apology. Because, so for context of why everyone thought there was a shadow drop, like, I want to say a couple weeks before Summer Games Fest, a random update was pushed for the Arc Raiders playtest, but then was very quickly stopped and taken away. It wasn't meant to get pushed. But in the time that it got pushed, obviously people's Steam's auto-updated. A bunch of people got the update, and in the files, there was a new executable, and it had a timer for the 6th of June. So that countdown timer, then obviously everyone's like, oh, countdown timer, we already think it's going to shadow drop. This basically confirms it. And the devs have come out and said, like, we realized that was a fuck up. We were just excited to say we have a release date.
Like an announcement, yeah.
Because we're excited about this game, but we understand how that has misled everyone. And obviously, we've misled the hype, and that's on us. But do know that we are using this time to really work on the game and get it as best as possible. And I do think they're going to absolutely cook with this extra time. Like, I do think this is going to just make the game even better when it comes out.
Yeah. They're definitely going to benefit
excited
from this extra time.
Yeah, I would have loved for the game to have shadow dropped and be already playing it. But I'm okay with, it was already polished a lot by playtest. I know this is just going to be them adding more content, and it's going to be the same polish level. And I think there's a bit of them that are like, oh, Marathon's in trouble at the moment. We can just drop a month after them, of where everyone's given Marathon a go, probably got bored of it, if this is if Marathon sticks to its release date. And then like they're just going to come in and kind of take over. So overall, I think it's a good thing.
I mean, 30th, it's not long.
No, it
realistically.
isn't.
That time will whiz by.
Yeah.
So you've got something to look forward to there, mate. I know you was very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
On a
Look
day
at me
one.
so sad.
No, I'm like, let's be real.
He's going to cry.
I don't have as much time to game anymore, so if anything, this gives me time I could book off if I wanted to.
Now he understands. He realizes the shadow drops aren't a good thing.
2 months ago, I was all for the shadow drop.
Yeah.
No, not so much.
Now you're like,
Not so
yes,
much.
shadow drops are hype. However, what's more hype is being able to play the game on release because you've had time to book the time off.
Yes.
One, we want to shout out our good friend, Jurassic World Evo 3. Unfortunately, apologies, Luke, who worked on the game. It's not my type of game. Just the whole. I was a big roller coaster tycoon guy back in the day. Not so much anymore. This is essentially Jurassic World Tycoon.
Yeah.
Very cool. Just again, not my type of game. Pretty much.
It definitely would be my type of game. It's just will I get to it? I could see me very easily playing this.
If I had a handheld gaming device, I'd be very likely to play this.
Some good news for you later on then in this episode.
But like, this is absolutely the kind of thing. If I was there watching TV and I can just have like a decent console on my lap, that I'm like, yeah, let me just like make some horrific creation and make a cool attraction while I'm watching my TV shows. Big chillin', like.
Luke, will this game be coming to Switch 2?
Yeah, that's good. Have Mario visit the Jurassic World Park.
Some crossovers going on there. One I really didn't like. I just don't like VR in general.
VR sucks.
VR does suck, and it's annoying.
It's been around for like 15 years now, and they've not released a good game. Not a singular good one.
The only thing that I will happily say VR goes for is when you're doing either flight sim, race sim, where you're literally
Or-
sat. No, or
Yeah.
or the orange streaming site.
If
Like an orange site.
even if someone has the most expensive racing sim I've ever seen, if I see a VR headset in their room, I'm assuming it's for porn. I'm not assuming it's for the racing setup. It's that simple.
Here's the thing: it's like racing sims. If you've got the space, I'd rather have like the full 3 monitor setup because you've got that like quicker,
Comfortable, less
Yeah.
eye fatigue.
but I get that like it is a very good use case for like a smaller space sim setup. But yeah,
Yeah.
outside of that, trying to do actual games on VR is not.
So it's
Funny.
it's limited to literally one VR device, isn't it? It's literally just the Oculus
Oh,
3.
yeah,
the
so
Quest 3.
I've got a Meta Quest 2, so not that I was going to play it, but it automatically rules me out.
Yep.
It's not even that old, which I feel like is a bit of a kick in the teeth.
You need to buy all new hardware to play this game. The
It's like
games
being
that
back
used
in
to
the
be
day.
system sellers, like if you think about games as system sellers, you've got Mario Kart, fucking Spider-Man, and then they're like Deadpool VR voiced by Neil Patrick Harris. I'm like, no.
I just clocked that we hadn't actually said what the game was. We were
Yeah.
just slagging off VR. It
No,
was the Deadpool.
I was so
announcement.
fucking excited because there was an old 360 game that was a Deadpool
Yep.
game voiced by Nolan North. And that game is fucking iconic. I love it. And I saw Deadpool. I knew it was obviously Summer Game Fest. I was like, holy fuck, are they actually going to like remaster it
Yeah.
or make a new one? And then
I
I see it's
thought-
VR and I was like, oh my god, I hate everything.
I did a
180 so quick.
I thought we got a new Deadpool game because it also started off with the Deadpool humor, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're
Yeah,
finally
it was
making a
very
new one." And then the thing that immediately gave it away was the floating hands on the 3D model. I was like, "Oh, this is VR." And then it ends with only on the Meta Quest 3, and it's like, what's the fucking point in that then? Like your already narrow
people are
player
gonna play
base
this game.
has just got minuscule.
3 people are going to play this game and 2 of them helped make it.
But yeah, the further we get rid of that one, the better. One that I am so excited for, popped hugely for it coming up, and then Jeff didn't give us a date at which I wanted to cry. Mixtape, the coming of age game by Annapurna. I believe it was the same like specific team that made Artful Escape, which I also loved. The soundtrack looks amazing. The gameplay looks amazing. Everything about this game just screams me, and we still don't have a date for it. I've got hope that it will come out late this year.
The planned release date is 2025.
It's still slated for 2025.
Copium.
I was surprised because I think this was the second or third time we'd seen it, so I was surprised we didn't get a date. I think we first saw it last Summer Games Fest.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I think that was right. But either way, I cannot wait. Gutted we didn't get a date.
Sucker for a coming of age story. I always have been.
Oh, I
And the
love
fact
coming of
that
age.
I've never really played a game that's got a coming of age story is actually quite alarming to me because that's like my favourite genre of story. I don't know how I haven't played a game with that as the main theme
Life
yet.
is strange. Life is strange. Play it now.
Woke nonsense.
Stop. Another thing that I was gutted about after being excited, Lego Party. Basically a Super Mario Party game.
It's
just
going to be
with
on
Lego.
Steam though, isn't it?
It is, and I come bringing
is.
copium.
There will be someone on Steam who makes a nice, easy mod that will make it.
I
so
was
we can
going to
do it
say,
in the lobby.
it is going to be a Steam game, and it seems like it's only, there's no mention of consoles. So, like, this is a PC game. Someone will very quickly mod that to have bigger player lobbies.
Yeah,
So,
let's hope
like,
so. So for context, we got this cool Lego Party game. There's 60 plus mini games, essentially like your Pummel Party, Super Mario
And there's
type
like
game.
12 trillion variations of how you can make your character because you get to build your own minifigure.
yeah.
I'm going to spend 6
It's-
days just building my minifigure before I even play a fucking game.
It's the smartest idea that I'm surprised Lego's not done sooner with a
Yeah.
game.
Well, for a long time, Lego was just like IP film games, and that made them more money than God, in all fairness. and now they are starting to branch out into this. Right,
I remember Lego.
Lego
City
is
Builder.
not limited to IPs. What else can we do here? And I'm so excited. I want everyone to book this in as a recurring thing.
Here's the thing: 4 players, like we can still play that and have a good time. Obviously, it's just like the party games are always more fun when there is more players.
100%. Yeah.
And like, I'm not being funny. I know like there's 5 of us that were like in the chat discussing it at the time, but realistically, Con would join in and play with us, wouldn't he, JL?
Yeah, 100%,
And like Jewel or whatever, and whoever. Like, if it was like a limit of 12 players, we would probably be able to get up to 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And like, I'd rather be in that situation than, yeah, it's a rare occasion, but all 5 of us are like, yeah, I'm down, and then we've got to say to someone, sorry, we don't have room for you.
Yeah, because we played Pummel Party with, that's 6-player lobbies, isn't it? Or 6 to 8 or...
That's up to 8, and we played that with 6.
Yeah, so it was gutting, especially that they didn't put it in the trailer. We only found out it was 4 players in the press release afterwards.
Yeah,
maybe they'll do an update that increases player.
Yeah. I hope they just
there
got
is
a
a lot of
bunch of
outrage.
tweets. Just 4! I want to play that with every person on the planet. I don't care how long it takes.
That will be a fun run. Some of the mini games looks class, and I believe they said at launch there's going to be 60 different mini games.
Yeah, so many.
And they will add more.
Oh, 100%. A strange one that I won't be playing, a Game of Thrones RTS. The weirdest thing for me was the trailer looked unbelievable. Like, if that was an actual
This is what RTS do.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like,
that's standard RTS behavior. What are you on about?
Like,
the amount of times I've seen a trailer for a game, I'm like, oh my god, that looks amazing. I can't wait to play that. And then it transitions into gameplay, and it's top down, and it's just people just dragging and dropping things. I'm like, the fuck is this?
Like, if this game was part of Season 8, it would have got a really good review on IMDb. The episode looked unbelievable. But what I find with RTS games, that there's been quite a few the last couple of years where they do it in the trailers. They show this amazing looking cinematic, and then they show what the gameplay is at the second half of the trailer.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, we didn't see any gameplay. We just saw this unbelievable Game of Thrones segment, and we don't actually know what the game looks like. We just know that it's an RTS.
The trailer did look amazing. I'm sure the game will be good. I do have to say, I think it is a bad decision to use the likeness of the actors from the show for the character models. So seeing Kit Harington's Jon Snow, I think, is a mistake.
I think, unfortunately,
it sells
Game of Thrones, yeah, it's the only thing that still sells Game of Thrones, because Season 8 did such massive damage. You don't have a big enough player base of just people that actually enjoy Game of Thrones in the books. Game of Thrones is so massive.
So why does it need a game?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
This is also the other question. Of like, we had that mobile game, I think it was last year, that was like, they did some crazy trailer and it's like, oh, this is a Game of Thrones mobile game. They're just trying to milk this for as long as, because I think really they're trying to regain some rep after the fallout of, I don't know, they're just trying to drag out and get some rep back. But this, yeah, it's probably not the best way to do it. But it's also the sort of game that I would maybe give a go. So
it could absolutely be very good. But it was kind of obviously such a over the top trailer, and then it just be an RTS.
Standard RTS behavior.
Always the way, mate. Always the way.
Yeah.
One that me and Horry popped for the first time since like PS1 or PS2. Someone can quote me on that.
I want to say it was
PS1. I think there was 2. You had Shaolin.
Shaolin Star was 1999, and that was just PlayStation. Not
that was on
PS2.
PS1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
I feel like. Yeah, that was the one I remember. I can't think if there was a second one, but we got a Wu-Tang new announcement, Rise of the Deceiver, it's called. The game's being presented by Ghostface Killer, so the soundtrack is going to be unbelievable. It is a co-op RPG, which I wasn't expecting at first. It sort of looks like a hack and slash.
Yeah.
But either way, it looks unbelievable. From what I can see, it's going to be on Epic and Steam, so Horry, we will be playing this through on PC.
Yep.
As a Wu-Tang fan, didn't expect it,
No.
but very much excited for it.
The big old 2025, seeing a Wu-Tang game was a surprise.
Well, the thing is like they've been putting out some music again recently. Not that not that I've listened to their new stuff. At least on like, I'm sure they have, and I'm sure it's not like old, unless it's like old tracks that were never released and they're now only just officially releasing them.
I'm pretty sure they're touring again this year as well.
But like we had the Wu-Tang TV show like a couple years back, which I'm pretty sure was actually pretty decent because some of them had like influence on things in that, so they made sure like the story was somewhat right. I mean, I'm down for a Wu-Tang game to come back. Like,
all of it's fucking gorgeous.
It's exactly what they always, the vibe they always had in their music, with putting in the like samurai film audio bites and stuff. So,
like, it looks fucking awesome. I hope it ends up being as fun as it looks.
The art style to me from what we've seen from like the combat looked very. What was the rhythm game that's escaping me that came out on Xbox?
I don't know.
Done very well, and in the studio got shut down, and no one could believe it.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. The combat segments look very Hi-Fi Rush, so it'd be intriguing to see if this is going to be a rhythm game or is it just going to be a co-op.
If it's got Wu-Tang backed music, I wouldn't be surprised if similar to like your Arkham style games, where it is, just press the buttons and you'll find like natural rhythm.
I'll tell you what, a hip hop rhythm game is something I've been waiting for. I'll be so there.
Like it could be very good.
It could be a walking simulator to Wu-Tang music, and I'd probably still play it. Like, I'm just gonna chill along and listen to Wu-Tang while I play a game. Like, what's not to like?
Valid. Exactly. I often do that anyway, let alone within an actual game itself. One that I have been on the fence for about a year, seeing as we've seen it so many times. Dying Light the Beast got a date. I don't know if it already had one, but it has now got August 22nd, so only a couple of months away. I didn't play Dying Light 1, which is what the character in Dying Light 1, I believe the Beast is sort of based after, because this is a spin-off, it's not a mainline game. I played Dying Light 2, 50 plus hours, absolutely loved it. Zombie games I love, parkour games I love, mixing the two together, unbelievable. I don't know why every time I've seen this one, it always struck me as like more of a mini game, whereas the more I see it now, and they did actually release a sort of separate breakdown of it after the show, it looks like something that I could be tempted with if it's a quiet period of gaming. Again, it's not going to be your full-fledged 50 plus hours to my knowledge. I don't know how long I want it to be, but I might dabble in it. I'm not really
need
sure.
more 20-hour games.
I'm hoping this is like a 15-20 hour.
Yeah, I need to be confident games of 20 hours now, because it's the only way I'm going to force myself to play
them. Now, one, Hori, it wasn't your game. It wasn't the shadow drop you wanted, but it was the shadow drop a lot of people popped for. Lies of P Overture, the DLC I believe we saw at the Game Awards. Shadow drop, just on the spot. We got a little gameplay segment of it. Following that, the shadow drop, a lot of people I saw on Twitter went straight on their consoles and installed it. From what I've heard so far, it's very good. It's just more Lies of P.
Lies of P is like one of the more popular Souls, like not made by FromSoft, isn't it?
Yeah. So I have it on disc. I haven't played it because I started. What did I start instead? That's taken up my life. Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I couldn't play. So I went from Dragon Age Veilguard, which I played about 40 hours of, straight into Assassin's Creed, which I'm already like 40 hours into. I haven't got time for all these big games. I need some smaller games. But Lies of P, I'll get around to it eventually, so I'll probably end up playing the Overture. DLC looks very good. And then we're going to close the show. But before that, what are our general thoughts on the showcase prior to this announcement?
I had no games that I was like, oh, maybe. I was either like, yes, I will play that, or no, I will not play that, but it looks good. Every game looked good, other than Deadpool. Like, unironically, even games that I'm like, that's not my kind of game, I was like, oh fuck, that looks good.
Mm,
And of course, there was a lot more games than just we've discussed. We've only discussed
yeah.
the ones that are relevant to us. There was a far more games for people out there. So,
But like everything was either, oh, that looks great, but it's not for me, or that looks great, I can't wait to play it. And VR. Like that was it for me. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was like the one thing I was hoping for didn't happen, but I got a release date, so I'll take it with Arc Raiders. There was a lot of games where I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have even expected that or considered that looks kind of good. Things like Wu-Tang, like would never have expected that, but I'm like so in for that. And then there's some of the more like RTS style games or like Jurassic World, Evo, like those games where I'm like, oh, actually, I would check. I might give them a go at some point, which I wouldn't have known otherwise. But yeah, I think overall it was a solid show. There was a good mix of types of games.
yeah, I think the same. I think the whole weekend had very good variety of games.
Yes. So I mean, there was something there for I think everyone to at least be happy with
amazed if
one or two games.
I'd be amazed if anyone managed to watch the Xbox Showcase, Summer Games Fest, and PlayStation, and somehow didn't have 3 or 4 games.
There's
they were like,
no good games coming out anymore.
If anyone watched all 3 of them, was genuinely like, none of them games interest me. Maybe you're just not a
Gaming's so
gamer.
stale at the minute. What have I got installed? COD and FIFA. Oh, I don't want to play any of these games. The people I hate the most. But yeah, to close the show, a move that is being trolled a lot online. One that originally I was gutted. So about 5-10 minutes before the end of the show, we had a little segment from Capcom because obviously it's coming up to the anniversary. The lady who portrayed Lady Dimitrescu from RE Village came out and sort of said Capcom are putting all of these games into a bundle. You can get it for cheap on the anniversary, blah, blah, blah. Goes
cool.
to, yeah, again, people who love Resident Evil games, myself included, got a bundle, go and play them all. Someone from Capcom came out and basically said, yeah, we have a new game. We haven't got anything to show you yet. Sort of keep your eyes peeled type thing. And I could not believe my eyes. As soon as the Capcom came up, the thing for Raccoon City popped up and I was like, this is it. We're going to finally see the game that I expected to see at the State of Play earlier in the week. Didn't get that. And then I thought, oh, because what was his word? And he was like, in the blink of an eye, you'll see the game. So I thought, all right, we're going to go.
Still makes no sense
now.
to me because like nothing in the trailer references like blinking of eyes or something. So I thought that was like supposed to be like a story teaser, and instead it was like, how do I say we're going to be on in 15 minutes without saying we're going to be on in 15 minutes?
I thought he was just going like, yeah, in the blink of an eye, and then it was going to transition into the game, but then it just went straight into another game, and I could not believe it. I went on Twitter and, along with a lot of other Resident Evil fans, tweeted out, or X, should I say,
Nice.
posted out saying, like in an uproar, basically, that Capcom have come out and done that and not given us a date. And I quote tweeted someone who was angry about it, and it was like, can't believe my eyes, basically. Closing the show, we get some long trailer, and it's Resident Evil 9 Requiem.
I'm very excited to watch my favourite content creators play this game because I'm too much of a pussy to play it.
I went straight online and everyone was popping off. I still think it's a weird decision the way they done it. Like, obviously, it was quite fun that they put in and then gave us what we wanted, but it's still kind of a bit of a strange thing to do in general. The game looks awesome. There was a lot of and ahhing whether it was going to be closing off Ethan Winter's story, which I'm glad it's not. I'm bored of him. He's a boring bastard. A lot of information has come out that Leon Kennedy will be the main protagonist. So the girl they showed in the trailer was the niece of someone from an earlier game who wasn't a main character, and they also left a note in either Village or Biohazard, and it's like this person's aunt. So a lot of people, even who are Resident Evil fans, didn't put two and two together because it was like quite a niche character name. And then we got it's like post RE 2 and 3. Raccoon City's been nuked essentially. It looks awesome. And we got a release date, not just a trailer for the first time, a release date, 27th of Feb.
Which is
I think,
like really soon, bearing in mind no one even knew this game was like.
That's what I'm saying. Like to release the first trailer of the game and a date within the next
unheard of
8-9 months.
Elder Scrolls 6 could not.
Never.
This is what I've been saying for years. Yeah, it's nice to know Wolverine game's being worked on. Don't tell me it's coming until you can tell me when I can play it. I'd much rather think there are no games being developed, and then 9 months before the game comes out, then go, oh, by the way, Wolverine's going to be out in 9 months, this is going to be out in 9 months, and then I just panic and go, I need to find money for all these games. I'd much rather that. I don't want to be sitting here going, oh, I hope you get an update on Wolverine for the first time in 9 million fucking years. Sick of it. Thank you, Capcom.
I mean, fair enough. I'm a big RE guy. I played RE4 Remake, Biohazard, and Village all on day one. I just love a horror game. Love Resident Evil. Very much looking forward to this. As always, it looks like it's going to be scary. I mean, and from what I've seen, I don't know how true it is, you can toggle between first and third person.
That is what I've also seen. Apparently, they've made it so that you can play the traditional third person or the more modern first person. The entire game is going to be made to support both, and you can choose your preferred way of player in Resident Evil. Another great fucking option so that they can make the games more modern without people who enjoyed the OG games bitching and moaning about it not being third person anymore.
It's a weird one because I love RE4. It's probably my favorite, and that's third person, but I also I preferred 7 to 8, but again, they're both first person, so it's like I love both. I don't know how I'm going to play it. Just because it's Leon, I'll probably play it in third person, but either way, I can't
play Leon's parts in third, and if you switch to the other character for any of it, play first.
Honestly,
Best
it could be a shout. But yeah, 27th Feb. It's a bit of a strange time for a horror game, but I'll be there regardless, so who cares? So yeah, overall, I thought Jeff's show was pretty decent. I feel like it lacked a couple of like big. I feel like that was the thing of the whole weekend. Like there was loads of good games, but I don't feel like there was any like.
I think the
showstoppers. Do you know what I mean?
I think the floor was the highest it's ever been, but the ceiling wasn't that high, if that makes sense. Like the average game that got an update was like, oh fuck, this is really cool. But there was, like you say, there was nothing that makes the chat go a million miles an hour with everyone going, oh my fucking god.
It's a hard one because last year, I feel like Xbox's showcase last summer was arguably the best there's ever been. Top 3 for sure. And I feel like coming out of that, we expected so much throughout this whole weekend, and it just simply can't live up to the showcase that we got last year from Xbox. So,
do you want to have a wild thought? Had GTA 6 not been delayed, that probably would have shown us something at this.
Oh, Jeff would have got that 100%.
Which would have made this whole Summer Games Fest insane.
Yeah, no, but now we can wait for that at the Game Awards, because that'll be like 3 months before release.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
What is it, end of May, did we say?
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's end of May, so it'll be like 6 months before release.
Oh, that's exciting.
Well, we're now within a year of GTA 6 officially.
Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, because I remember last episode we spoke about it. Obviously, we got the news that it and we was out of a year, whereas now we're inside of a year. So it feels good again. We're so back. But I do want to pull in. Obviously, we very much enjoyed the showcases. Early last week, before them, I asked both of you for 3 things that you wanted to see.
I remember what I said. No.
Con.
Oh, 2 for 3, I think.
Yes and no. You wanted a Wolverine update. Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you got one. It was pure silence.
Yeah, it's technically an update. It's not coming soon, that's for sure. James Bond. we got James Bond, which is always nice. You wanted a new IP from a big studio. Now, you got a new IP, which looks good.
Yeah.
In
Not a big
Clockwork
studio.
Revolution.
Yeah. Actually, what else have they made? I don't even know.
Either way, some pretty cool.
Yeah, the new IP was the bigger thing. I was hoping it would be a big studio just because it means they're more likely to have like had a lot going. But like, the people making this were the people who made the Barge trilogy, Wasteland 2, Wasteland 3. So they're like seasoned developers.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, it's exciting as fuck. That game it's got me written all over it, to be honest, and I can't wait.
Hori, you're free.
0 for 3.
No, you was 1 out of 3. You wanted to see Arc Raiders, which we saw. You put in brackets a potential shadow drop.
Yeah.
We didn't get that, but your main point.
Yeah.
I'm going to disregard the brackets. Arc Raiders you got. You wanted more information on Intergalactic from Naughty Dog.
Yeah, which
was massive copium.
We didn't get. And Elder Scrolls 6.
No, Elder Scrolls 6 was the massive copium.
They announced Intergalactic at Christmas when Naughty Dog take 12 years to make a game.
Still more
That's
chance
not a remaster of The Last of Us.
More chance of getting that than Elder Scrolls 6 at this point.
So both of you are on 1 out of 3. For me,
there's no way I'm getting hit with the same score as Hori when he puts brackets on a shadow drop, and I say I want a new IP.
And then myself, my 3 predictions. I wanted Resident Evil. I originally predicted it was going to be at the State of Play, which it wasn't. But
right, 0 points.
No, because my State of Play was in brackets, like your shadow drop.
I should have put Big Studio in brackets.
Yeah, you should have done your loss.
I wanted a date for mixtape, which we didn't get. We got to see mixtape, we didn't get a date.
Oof.
Right.
And then I wanted an update from a first-party PlayStation studio, whether it be Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, Insomniac, and I mean Sucker Punch. Obviously, we got Ghost, but I'm talking like new.
Yeah,
new IP.
not just.
Yes, I feel like we're all 1 for 3.
Yeah. I mean,
these 1 for 3s are not made equally.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that was a good weekend. I swear to God, if I see there's no game to play over the next week or so.
We all lost points on our copium
Now none
picks.
of these games are out.
We all lost points on copium picks, but then we've got given games that we didn't even know were going to be a thing and we're actually quite hyped for. So
big time.
There is genuinely 10 to 15 games from the weekend that I want to actively play. And
does anyone want to be my sugar mama and just pay me to play all the cool games?
No.
Ladies?
But yeah, that was our Summer Games Fest recap for 2025.
Boom.
2026. GTA 6 will be out.
Yeah.
Will we be playing that on the ROG Ally OLED Microsoft?
No, I will
edition?
be in this chair for a week straight. That 24-hour stream is going to look like tuppence compared to the hours I'm going to put into that game.
By this time next year, I'll probably be on the Switch.
The Switch 2 will be playing Mario.
Yeah, he's going to be playing GTA 6 on the Switch too. I don't get how powerful they've made that bastard thing. It ain't running GTA 6. And sure as shit not at launch.
It's got more chance of running it than my current PC, so... Because it won't even be out on PC.